Hello, guys. This is my 2020 playoff predictions for the 2020 NFL playoffs. So, the first game we have here in the AFC, all the way on the left, is the Browns versus the Steelers. The Steelers are going to win that, in my opinion, I think pretty easily. The Browns last week could barely beat the Steelers with Mason Rudolph. So, I think that's going to be an easy win for the Steelers. Ravens and Titans. I'm taking the Titans. I just don't think Lamar Jackson. I think you're in playoff games. You're gonna have to use your passing ability more. He can't rely on his run game as much, but he cannot pass. But he's just not a good passer. I mean, he's an okay passer, but he's not good enough to where if you limit his running ability, he cannot rely on that as his default. Now I have Bills and Colts. I think the Bills are going to beat that pretty easily. Right now, let's finish off the wild card in the NFC first before we go to the divisional round in the AFC. I think that's a pretty easy one with the Seahawks and Rams. I think the Seahawks are going to win that. If Jared Goff was in, I think it'd be a different scenario, and I think it'd be a much closer game. But with, John Wolford or whatever, they're not going to, come on, it's not going to be a competitive game. Then you have Washington and the Buccaneers. It's obviously going to be the Buccaneers. Washington's not a good team. They only got in because they're in the NFC East. I don't think we have to spend much time on that. All right, Saints Bears. Also, I think it's a pretty easy Saints win. I know they choke in the playoffs a lot, but the Bears are not good. I mean, an 8-8 team should not be getting in the playoffs when a 10-6 team in the AFC doesn't get in the playoffs. It's annoying, but that's how it is. Let's go all the way to the left. The Chiefs and Titans, a rematch of last year's AFC Championship game. This could go both ways because the Chiefs, as of lately, have not been playing that well. They've been losing close games. They've been winning close games. I'm sorry. All against the Falcons. They barely beat the Falcons. And the Titans are a good team. Maybe with this week's rest, Andy Reid gets it figured out. They're back. I can't bet against the Chiefs right now. I just can't. And then you got the Steelers and the Bills. I think the Bills win that. The Steelers, I don't think, are as good as advertised. They're definitely good enough to beat the Browns. Because I think the Browns are kind of falling apart as of lately, but they're not going to beat the Bills. Let's go to the NFC. I think the Packers are going to beat the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers dominate bad teams, but struggle against good teams. They'll stay in some games, but sometimes they struggle. They're not. They could win this, but I don't see them beating the bad man himself, Aaron Rodgers. Saints and Seahawks. Oh, this is a rough game because who do you trust more? Russell Wilson, as of lately, or Drew Brees as of lately? Russell Wilson had a great first half, but the second half of the season, if Russell Wilson doesn't throw 4 touchdowns, the Seahawks suck. It's a tough one. I'm gonna say the Saints feed Kamara and he goes off again like he did. Now let's go back to the AFC, Bills and Chiefs. This really depends on if the Chiefs get it together. If the Chiefs get it together, I think it's an easy win for the Chiefs. If not, I think Buffalo will take advantage of that. All in all, I think the Chiefs are going to win this game, and they're going to go to their second straight Super Bowl. Then you have in the NFC, listen, I'm rooting for Drew Brees, his last season and all, but they're not beating the MVP and Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Both 1 seeds made it to the Super Bowl because they're both the best teams. Let's be real for a minute, and they're each conference. So I think this is going to be a close one. I think it's really going to rely on whose defense holds the other offense because we know both offenses can score, right? We know that. And when I look at the Packers, I see a much better defense than the Chiefs have. And if the Packers defense can just limit the Chiefs' offense enough, I think they can win it because, let's be real, the Packers have a great offense. They've thrown more touchdown passes than punts. So, I'm not going to go against the Packers. I think I'm just going to stick with them, with the MVP. It's going to be a close one, though. But I don't see the Chiefs' defense being able to hold up with Green Bay's defense in a shootout. So that was my playoff predictions for 2020. Hopefully I'm right.